could I thank Michael Matheson for his personal statement. I think anyone who has had teenage children will understand what has happened, but what people will not understand is the cover-up. And this has only had the effect of heightening the media scrutiny, which understandably he did not want for his family. But I regret to say that the failure to replace the SIM card, despite reminders over several years, is wholly negligent. I regret that the failure to keep the iPad secure is equally negligent. And I regret that on repeated occasions he assured this Parliament and made statements in the press that were wholly incorrect. There is a serious question of judgment here, but whilst he was focused on this mess of his own making, A&E waiting times had gone up this year to the highest level. NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde were named as suspects in a corporate homicide case, and 820,000 patients are waiting too long on NHS waiting lists for treatment. Does he not believe that as a result of that serious question of judgment, that people will understandably have lost confidence in his ability to do his job as the Cabinet Secretary for Health? And I have to ask, why didn't he investigate the use of data when it was raised with him consistently by parliamentary authorities? Why is it only now that he asked his family what actually happened?
Michael Matheson.
Presiding Officer, I wholly accept that the data usage and the cost which has been associated with that are my responsibility, which is why last Thursday we as a family made the decision to reimburse the Parliament for the full costs which were associated with that. My use of the iPad when I was on holiday was purely for constituency and parliamentary purposes, and that was my understanding of all that happened with the iPad when it travelled with us. Clearly, things have changed as a result of the information which I now have. Can I also be very clear with the member? I did ask, and IT sought to try and get further details from the network operator on exactly what the iPad had accrued the charges for, and the network operator were unable to provide that information. I also discussed the matter with my family and received assurances at that time. Had I known that my family had made use of the data at that time, I would have met the costs associated with that. But I did not know that, which is why at that time I could not understand how the costs had been accrued. When it became apparent that we had accrued the costs as a result of actions within my family, we took the immediate decision to reimburse the full amount to the Parliament. So I hope the member will take my reassurance that as soon as that became apparent to us, that we as a family decided to ensure that Parliament were reimbursed for the full costs associated with it.